Today, dive into the realm of GraphQL with React and Apollo, a combination that's not just powerful, but also incredibly streamlined for developers. First, focus on setting up the backend with ApolloServer. Begin by installing the necessary dependencies. Run the command in your terminal. This command equips your project with ApolloServer and GraphQL, the backbone of your server setup. Next, create the ApolloServer, import and from. Define your data schema using GraphQL's type definition language. For instance, a simple type definition could be, then, define the resolvers. Resolvers are functions that generate responses for GraphQL queries. Here's how you might resolve the query. Now, instantiate ApolloServer with these type definitions and resolvers. Launch the server and it will be ready to respond to queries at the provided URL. Transitioning to the front end, initiate a new React application using the command. Navigate into your project directory and install Apollo Client and GraphQL by running. Configure Apollo Client in your project. Import and from. Set up the client pointing to your local server's URL and wrap your application's root component with. This setup allows any component in your React app to access GraphQL data easily. Let's create a React component to fetch data. Use the hook from Apollo Client to make a query to the server. Handle loading and error states gracefully, and display data when it's available. For instance, fetching a simple greeting might look like this.
Now configure the WebSocket link in the Apollo client. Import necessary modules such as Apollo client, in-memory cache, split from @apollo/client, WebSocket link from @apollo/client/link/wuse, TTP link from @apollo/client, and get main definition from @apollo/client/utilities. Set up the HTTP link to point to your server. For instance, if your server is running locally, you might set the URI to 1000. Next, configure the WebSocket link. This should also point to where your GraphQL server accepts WebSocket connections, which might look like w's/localhost 4000 GraphQL, with an option to reconnect, set to true. The magic happens with the split function, which directs your queries to the right link based on the type of operation requested. If the operation is a subscription, it uses the WebSocket link. Otherwise, it sticks with the HTTP link. Moving to the server side, implement the subscription functionality using ApolloServer. Start by setting up your server with the ApolloServer, GQL, and PubSub modules from ApolloServer. Define your GraphQL schema with types for query, mutation, and subscription. For instance, a simple message handling setup could include types for querying messages, adding a new message, and subscribing to message additions. Define resolvers for these operations. In the mutation resolver for adding messages after saving a new message, publish this event using the PubSub's publish method. For the subscription, use the PubSub's async iterator method to listen for the event indicating a new message has been added. Once everything is set up, use the useSubscription hook from @apollo/client in your React component to make your application listen to the subscribed events. This hook makes it incredibly seamless to integrate real-time data into your React components. In summary, integrating GraphQL subscriptions with Apollo Client into a React application involves setting up WebSocket communications, configuring Apollo Client to handle different types of operations, and implementing server-side subscription logic. The result is a fluid, real-time data experience that can significantly enhance the interactivity and responsiveness of your application. Remember, the key to mastering real-time updates in your applications lies in understanding and effectively implementing these concepts. Whether it's a chat application, a live notification system, or any other dynamic content that changes in real time, GraphQL with Apollo provides a robust solution to keep your application data fresh and engaging. And that, dear enthusiast, is a wrap on how to breathe life into your applications with real-time updates using GraphQL, Apollo, and React. For those looking to delve deeper, the vast ocean of Apollo's official documentation awaits with more intricate details and advanced features. Happy coding, and may your data always flow in real time